everyone, it's Bonnie. Happy Wednesday. I am back. Check it out. I am spilling the English tea today. I love my dainty little English teacup. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know what's going on. Is there something in the air today or what? But four people DM'd me this afternoon and asked me if I'm getting PR from Bath and Body Works. I'm like, what? What? I'm like, do all of you know something I don't? Because if I'm getting PR from Bath and Body Works, I'm really excited. So, I thought I'd talk a little bit about PR, who I get it from, who I don't. I thought I'd do a little bit of an intro about Bonnie because I realized there's so many new people to my channel that I do a little background. I haven't done this in a long time. And Lenny's actually coming to town. I'm going to talk a little bit about who is Lenny because a lot of people are new and they're going, who's Lenny? So anyway, I'm going to start from the beginning. I started my channel, I want to say 2017. Was it 2017? I think it was. I actually started as a blog because I'm a writer. So I do have a bachelor's degree in English. I started my MBA, did not make it through. It just wasn't something I was super interested in. I have worked in marketing. I worked in PR. I like startups. I worked in San Francisco remotely for a company that one of my friends they owned. It was called Pack. And it was like Facebook for dogs. And it was so much fun. I got to interview Dr. Pohl. We actually were on national news because Dana Perino was, she had a dog named Jasper and she had talked about her dog. And I actually worked for another company called Squidoo. I was their community manager, and believe it or not, my early claim to fame was I used to chat all the time online with the Property Brothers right before they became real famous. So they did that. Remember they did like this brother versus brother thing, and I used to do these like polls. You know me and my poll, where I'd be like, Drew or Jonathan, who's gonna win? And then they would chat with me on Instagram. Oh my gosh, that was probably maybe like 2013. It's been a while. They're like way too famous now. They would never talk to me. So anyway, I've always done something in like PR and marketing. It's what I love to do. I love theater. And then in 2017, I've told this story before. I started writing. I had gotten really, really sick in 2016. I had a horrible case of pneumonia. I had a young child, and you know how kids bring home cooties. I had like the flu and pneumonia at the same time. I went on an antibiotic that I swear nearly took me out. My hair was falling out. I was sick for months, and I was watching Graveyard Girl, and she was talking about Lush hair bars, and I ordered one. And I loved it. It really helped my hair. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write about this. So I started writing. And about maybe 6 months after that, I thought, oh my gosh, why can't I do YouTube? I'm like, I could do YouTube. Oh my gosh, it was harder than I thought. My first videos were terrible. I did a lot of unboxings back then. Oh my gosh, horrible. I did Ipsy. I did Sephora. I really liked it though, but my early videos were terrible. And then in 2019, I ended up getting stage 0 breast cancer, which was not a huge health scare for me. I knew it was caught extremely early. So stage 0 is when it's in the duct and it hasn't spread at all. So they gave me two choices. They said you can either do unilateral mastectomy, or you can do a lumpectomy with radiation and tamoxifen. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. So I ended up choosing the unilateral mastectomy. It was not ever in my lymph nodes or anything. So I had that done. I actually wrote a blog post about the 5 best mastectomy things for your house, which included like this jacket that you wore because you have all these problems with the mastectomy. You have to wear this like the drains. You guys all know about the drains if you had that. But it's been like 6 years. I'm totally fine. So I had kind of done YouTube for about 2 years. And then when I got the diagnosis, I was like, I don't know, do I want to keep going? So I decided to like quit for a day. And then I missed it so much, I immediately came back. And I've been back ever since. I love what I do. I primarily review what I love. Bath and Body Works, Slacken and Company, Goose Creek, Kringle, Tree Hut, Victoria's Secret. I mean, I have my main stuff that I do. So COVID hit, of course, and a lot of like strange things happened during COVID. I mean, it was like such a challenge for all of us. I know I talked to so many people who had kids during that time, and it was a bad time. So I tried to keep things really fun on my channel. Did videos every day. I mean, we couldn't go into the stores. We were ordering online. So the crazy thing was 2020, okay, COVID hits in March. Everything shut down. My husband, who loves motorcycles, took his Honda Grom out on Memorial Day of 2020, and a bird hit him in the head, okay? Falls off his motorcycle, breaks his elbow. Like, oh my gosh, I remember yelling at him, like typical wife of 20 years. I'm like, why were you on your motorcycle during a pandemic? So anyway, it turned out to be a weird blessing in disguise. So he had surgery on his elbow. It went great. But during the blood work, his protein levels were really high. And his doctor's like, that's not normal. There's something going on. So he referred him to an oncologist who then diagnosed him with something called smoldering myeloma, which ironically, his mother also has multiple myeloma, which is very like strange because they say it's not hereditary. So anyway, he smoldered, it's called smoldering, for 2 years. He was fine. And then my channel kept going, growing. January 1st, 2022, we were in Barnes and Noble, and he's like, something's not right in my back. I don't like feel right. And I'm not going to go into graphic detail here, but he ended up having like 8 breaks in his back, in his upper spine, radiation, full-blown myeloma, chemotherapy. He couldn't walk. He had to learn to walk again with a walker. Stem cell transplant, all while having a teenage daughter at home. And the channel kept me going. Like, you guys kept me going. It's because I could go on here every single day and be like, oh, hey, I'm talking about the new Bath & Body Works. So it was a really good blessing to be able to have my channel. We started the Christmas card exchange. It's just been a really, really fun time. So during those years, I've been a huge fan of Kringle Candle since forever. I joined their ambassador program, and I continue to absolutely love Kringle. They're one of my favorite candle companies. Mick Kittredge is the son of Mike Kittredge from Yankee Candle, as many of you know. These are so near and dear to me, and I'm so grateful that they send me candles to review and preview. Because without the PR, I couldn't keep this up. It would just be way too expensive, and this is my full-time job. This is what I do. So, completely grateful that Kringle allows me to review their candles. Around that time, I also became an ambassador for Homework, Slacken and Company. Harry Slacken is an amazing human being. Love him so much. He does so much in the world. His son is autistic, and he started foundations, and he's just a really, really good human, and I love his candles. I've always loved Slacken and Company. Huge fan. I love sharing Slacken and Company. I'm not an ambassador for Goose Creek, but Goose Creek does send me PR on a regular basis. I just got their new, oh my gosh, fall collection. which I love. So those are the main companies that send me PR. I mean, I've gotten PR boxes here and there from different people. Bath and Body Works. So this is the question everybody's wondering. No, I do not get PR from Bath and Body Works. However, I've gotten an occasional PR box. So when I first started on my channel, they used to use my photos a lot online, and then of course everyone complained. They're like, "Why are you only using Bonnie's photos?" Which I get. You're always gonna have the complainer. And they would send me like an occasional like Christmas box. Like they sent out You're the One. We all got, like, a lot of us influencers got the You're the One PR box. It was like all of the You're the One products. I think I got was it Summer Medley? There were a couple different ones. So you would get like a PR box once in a while from Bath and Body Works, which I always was, disclosed, of course. And then a couple of years they sent me a box of candles during Candle Day. So, but honestly, I don't think I've gotten PR now from Bath and Body Works in at least 2 years. I don't know what they did, if they stopped the program or what. I do know that they worked with Leah. Leah's amazing. She absolutely deserves it. Everyone should be watching Leah Janae. She's so good at putting on makeup, which I'm not. I'm the over 50 girl. But she is. She's really good. So check out Leah. And then, of course, Paul Reacts got the deal for semi-annual sale. And while I did not agree with every one of the cents, I was so happy. Paul is such a great guy, and he was so deserving. So, yeah, I mean, they're doing strategic stuff with different people, but they're not doing anything with me at this point. However, Bath & Body Works, if you are watching, I would be happy to do some PR videos or whatever, or a collaboration with you and me and Lenny. I would love that. So anyway, I'm putting it out there. So no, I do not get PR from Bath & Body Works. I buy everything Bath & Body Works myself. I do now use, and I have to thank Leah for this. I noticed that Leah was using ShopMy as an affiliate link. So I joined the ShopMy, and it's kind of wonky. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I do have links on my channel. So if you go through that ShopMy link, I get a small commission if you go through the link. And it does help me because it can get really pricey buying all this stuff to review. I'm not complaining, believe me. This is not me complaining, but I am appreciative to everyone who has been using those links because it does help out, and then I can buy a few extra things to showcase. So, the tea is good. As far as me, like, a lot of people are like, what's your story, whatever. Basically, like, what you see is what you get as far as me. I love Bath and Body Works. I love what I do. Trust me when I say, if you didn't love doing this, you couldn't do it. I absolutely love getting on every single day and talking about products. The Queen of the Girl Geeks moniker, I don't know when I came up with that. It was probably about 15 years ago. And I'm like, I kind of am like Queen of the Girl Geeks, but like we all are. I was a total nerd in elementary school. I rode horses. I had glasses. I'm not as polished as a lot of the other influencers. I think I had spinach in my teeth the other day. I'm like, oh, kidding. Are you kidding? Really? But yeah, I love what I do, and this is me. It comes through, I think, on my videos, who I am. A lot of people have been asking me, like, over the years, a lot of question I always get. Everyone's like, why do you like everything so much? I'm going to tell a story here, and then I'm going to talk about Lenny. So anyway, product is so personal. Oh my gosh. Remember Frosted Holly? This is probably one that I absolutely didn't like. This is that weird grapefruit scent from like Christmas one year. This stunk. If there is a scent or candle that I personally think stinks, like, oh my gosh, Lemon Waves. That was like the worst one. Do you guys remember Lemon Waves? And there was Stinky Kitty. Remember the soap, Stinky Kitty? Um, I have no problem calling it out. However, when I review a product, what I like to do is I like to talk about what it smells like to me, as opposed to just saying, I don't like this. I like this. This is what it smells like to me. And sometimes you agree with me and sometimes you don't, because it's personal preference. Not everyone is going to, we're not all going to agree. Lenny and I very often do not agree. So I'm talking about Lenny a little bit. A lot of people were asking, is Lenny my husband? No, my husband's John. My life creative business partner is Lenny. I've been working with Lenny now for 30 years. We met at a college. He was actually a theater professor, and I was a very much older student. I didn't go to college until I was in my late 20s. And we actually worked together. He had started a summer theater, and I was his managing director. So we just really hit it off. He tends to be better at the more like pure creative stuff, where I am really good at more of like the business part of our collaboration. So Lenny lived in California he actually was here. He was in Ohio, and then he moved to California. He was in California for like 17 years. Once again, COVID hit, and he ended up being catapulted out of California back to his hometown of Johnstown, PA, which he is currently in. So about 2.5 years ago, and we had kind of been in communication, while he was in California, we still talked. We met up, and that old like spark was there. Our creativity just went like, whoa. And he had just published a book called A Face from Uranus. And it's actually about this man here on the cover, Ted Burr. He was transgender, although he never got to transform from male to female back in 1943, because it was 1943. So anyway, Ted had actually had a correspondence with a famous author named Henry Bellarmine, and they wrote letters back and forth. And that's what this book is. The book's incredible. The interesting story is that Lenny and I were both friends with Ted Burr. He was a local Cleveland actor. He has since passed away, but we both knew him. Lenny knew him better. He had done a lot of plays with him. And Ted had actually one day basically just kind of sat down with Lenny and said, I have something I want to tell you. He wanted to tell his story to someone. It had been, locked up for 50 years. The letters were locked up for 50 years. So Lenny grabbed his camcorder and said, Ted, can I, film this? This is incredible. So they actually did a movie, and it was called Letters to Uranus, The Hidden Life of Ted Burr. And it was actually in the Cleveland Film Festival, the New York Film Festival. So when Lenny and I kind of reconnected 2.5 years ago, he's like, hey, can you help me, with the book a little bit? And I was like, yes, because he knew I did, PR and marketing and stuff. So we've been working together. He did some book tours. He has a channel called Ecclesia Arts, and he actually filmed the pilot for the screenplay that he wrote based on the book, and that's over on his channel if you want to check it out. It's an amazing story. It's something that's so hard to explain, because Lenny's been doing this work now for it's like 25 years now. 2 years ago it was 23 years, but it has been a lifelong passion of his. Obviously, Lenny and I are very immersed in the LGBTQIA plus community. I am a huge ally, and I was so proud and privileged to be working on this project with him. So that was kind of how we got started. And then in the midst of all this, I said, Lenny, why don't you come on my channel and talk about your book, which he did. And then about a month later, I'm like, why don't you come on my channel and talk about candles with me? Because I knew that his aesthetic, his design experience, like all of it goes together. Because Lenny is a jack of all trades. He does everything. Um, so he got on my channel. He did such a good job. And we just really love collaborating together. We love the costuming and the design and coming up with really fun like stories around the products. So of all of this was born, we did the Elton John Slack Kidding Company candles last year, where we went over to my neighbor Jessica's house and we were over there filming. We did the Easter Lenny Bunny and Lady Gardner. These characters just kind of like come out, and it's so much fun. So we also did, it was Lenny's idea to do March Madness. So what we're doing with Bath and Body Works is we're taking 64 cents. We did the, the mist this year that we love, and we did the brackets because neither one of us like basketball. So we're like, we're gonna do a bracket for fragrance. Next year we're gonna do the candles. So anyway, it has been so much fun to be able to have Lenny on my channel and to bounce stuff off of, because I love it that we have completely different taste in fragrance too. Because you guys know I'm more of a gourmand girl, and Lenny likes more of the clean, the linen. A lot of people have said, why doesn't your husband come on? Why doesn't your mother come on? Why doesn't your daughter? So my daughter wants nothing to do with it, which I totally respect. It's not her thing. My husband has his own stuff going on. It just isn't his thing. He doesn't like, talking about candles and fragrance. It's just not what he does. My mother has been on many times, actually. She's going to be 81 in August. And last August, she actually broke her hip. She's in rehab. So it's been a little bit of a challenging year with all that. She does live with me. So it's just a little bit harder for her to like get organized and get on. But, Lenny is just like, "Ooh, I'm there. Let's do it." So I've really been so grateful and appreciative of my collaboration with Lenny this year. We've just done some really fun stuff. So going forward, that's our plan. I mean, we don't have like grandiose plans necessarily, but we're just going to keep doing what we do and enjoy doing that, if that makes sense. Whatever comes of this, comes of it. Bath and Body Works wants to start sending PR. I'm totally on board with that. If they don't, it's okay. I'm still going to do it. But I just really, really love doing this. This year has been a little bit of a transition for me. I'm 55 now, as many of you know, moving into your 50s, middle-aged women. We have all these interesting problems. I swear my teeth have been acting up. I had 2 teeth pulled, which is not fun. And I actually started riding horses again. I was really, that's like my passion is horses. So the fact that I was able to get on a horse this year and ride again has been like so incredibly wonderful for me. So I started doing that. My husband is doing well. A lot of people keep asking about his multiple myeloma. Knock on wood. The problem with multiple myeloma is it never goes away. You're in remission, you come out of remission, you go through another treatment, you go into remission. It's an ongoing, lifelong, disease. And it's just something, my husband, I'll have to say though, is one of the most easygoing, laid-back human beings I have ever met. And he is always joyful and always cheerful. And I appreciate that of him. I'm probably the edgier one of the two of us. But he is very supportive of what I do. He actually has a channel called Rust Belt Toy Repair, where he fixes old toys. It's what he likes to do. He also is on Instagram. He's a photographer. He likes to use vintage cameras. So that's a hobby of his too. He's basically an introvert. He likes doing things like on his own, which is why he's not on my channel much. But he is completely supportive and loves what I do. So anyway, that's kind of like the gist of what I've been doing lately. So going forward, nothing's changing on my channel. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing what I love to do. But it's so funny that like the catalyst for today's video was that 4 people texted me and said, "Am I getting PR from Bath and Body Works?" And not that I know of, but I'm okay if they do send PR. Let's just put it out there. Didn't that Paul Reacts, I think, did that. I think he basically did a TikTok where he was like, "You want to give me PR? You want to give me PR?" And it works. So you never know. If Bath and Body Works wants to work with 2 over 50 theater people, then bring it on. I think it's going to be fun. So anyway, that's where I am. Thank you so much for sharing my tea with me. And Lenny's plan is to drive in either Thursday or Friday, and hopefully we can get some fun videos going. We have so much to talk about. I like doing lives with Lenny too, because it's hard for me sometimes to talk for like an hour and a half straight. And it's kind of nice to be able to share the camera with someone and not be the only talker. So anyway, Lenny's book is called A Face from Uranus. If you type this into Amazon, if you're interested in purchasing the book, I will be promoting this book forever because I believe in this. Or type in Lenny Pinna, and you can find it that way too. But it's an incredible book. It's well worth the read. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.